Թորոնթոյի Հայ Դատի յանձնախումբը ուրբաթ 10 մարտին Հայ Կեդրոնի սրահի մեջ կազմակերպած էր Մարքամի նախկին փոխքաղաքապետ Jack Heathի պատիւ ընդունելութիւն, որու ընթացքին խօսք առաւ Մարքամի քաղաքապետ Ֆրանք Սքարփիթթին։ Ցերնարգին ներկա գտնվեցան բազմաթիվ քաղաքական պաշտոնատարներ, ներառյալ Dr. Helena Jezik եւ Paul Chen։
It is important to acknowledge that the land where our community resides is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. The Armenian Canadian community of Markham stands in resolute solidarity with the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples in their demands for recognition, restitution, and continued autonomy.
On behalf of ANCT, I would like to welcome everyone to this event, where we pay tribute to Jack Heath for the 25 years of public service, his retirement, and his unwavering friendship with the Armenian community. Before we talk about Jack, I would like to acknowledge a very, very special person who is with us today. And that special person is none but Krista Chu. I think everybody knows Krista Chu, Jack Heath's wife. She endured 25 years. Once you start volunteering and working with public, it becomes a part of your DNA. And you just keep on going, you cannot shake it off your shoulder. We thank you for lending us your husband for 25 long years to serve Markham, to serve us, to make Markham a better place to live, a better place to work, a better place to play, and a very better place to raise family. Obviously, this was not done on his own. It was under the leadership of our beloved Mayor, Frank Sckarapetti. The rest of council members, and we really have to say nothing but thank you, Krista. Jack Heath served on Markham Council for 25 years, from 1997 to 2022, and on York Region Council from 2003 to 2022. He is Markham's longest-serving deputy mayor. Other positions he held including Chair of Markham Council Finance and Administration Committee, its General Committee from 2010-2022, Chair of Markham District Energy Limited from 2007 to 2023. On November 10, 2022, he accomplished a Memorandum of Understanding on behalf of Markham and York with Parts Canada regarding Rouge National Urban Park.
Jack and I have known each other for a long time and have had a friendship. We've been on different sides of issues sometimes, but I'll just say this, he still has his hair And so I will just tell you, I think it's pretty obvious who created the stress and who had to deal with the stress. I told you I would tell you later, Mark, what it was like, 25 years of Jack Heath on council. 19 of those years were also spent as a regional councillor, and as Mark outlined, you spent 2 terms. Back then it was 3-year terms, and 2 terms as the Ward 5 councillor. And I know some people live in Cornell, but in the east part of Markham, I can tell you just before Jack got on, some of us were responsible, sort of developing the plan, and we thought we'd done it all. And then Jack Heath arrived, and he was, as the Ward 5 councillor, really had to deal with the implementation. Cornell looked great on a plan, but he had to deal with all of the aches and pains of what was known as a new urbanist community, where we made the streets for people, where we had those back lanes, and really hadn't been done anywhere in the GTA for decades. And Jack worked through all of that, worked through all of Box Grove. I know a couple of you are from the Box Grove area. And again, a major development, lots of meetings. And I can tell you one thing about Jack, even back then as a new councillor, he didn't shy away from having meetings and getting issues resolved. And I think he established that very, very early on in his career. And as Mark indicated, not only did Jack serve on regional council for 19 years, but also topped the polls regionally and became the deputy mayor. Now, and did an excellent job. And just look, let's be honest tonight. Politicians are a competitive bunch of people. And so when I heard this for the first time, that Jack Heath was the longest serving deputy mayor, I thought, wait a minute. I went back and checked the records. I said, Jack, you and I had the same number of years as deputy mayor. And then he said, but there's a difference, Frank. Mine is continuous service. And that's how I beat you. So fair enough. Let's give him a big hand on being the longest continuous serving member of council. One thing about Jack on recycling and the recycling program, he knew his stuff. And so we do have a very, very successful recycling program. The Blue Box had started before Jack came on, and then he started to work on the green bin to separate out the organics. And this was one of the moments that Jack and I did not agree on something, and we were opposite ends of the spectrum. If you remember, former Prime Minister, the late Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau, once said, government does not belong in the bedrooms of Canadians. I felt very strongly that we did not belong in the garbage bags of people that lived in Markham. But Jack wanted to know everything. So he said, I got this bright idea. Why don't we have clear bags in Markham so we can see what people are consuming? I said, Jack, this is the most ridiculous idea. We should stay out of people's businesses. Anyways, thank goodness he persisted. We have the clear bag. Thanks to you, I've got to take all my cookie and potato chip wrappers to the office now so that people don't see. But thanks to Jack and his determination, we have the clear bags. And what happened was exactly what he thought was going to happen. Once we were embarrassed that we might be sneaking some recyclables in the garbage stream, our diversion rate went up, and it is one of the most successful diversion rates in the whole country. So congratulations on that. There's never enough words to say thank you for all that you've done, Jack. And really, I think when people come out on a Friday night with the weather and are here, they're here because they know You've spent many days, many hours working on behalf of the residents of the city of Markham. And I thank you for it. I know the people of Markham thank you for it. I think you can look back with tremendous pride on a great record of accomplishment. And on behalf of all of us, I wish you the very best. You deserve it. And thank you for making the life in Markham much better than it was. So thank you. This is a nice one from the Minister of Municipal Affairs, the Honorable Stephen Clark. And it recognizes your 25 years of service.
I really want to thank Mark and the Armenian community. It's an honor, unexpected. I want to thank everybody who attended. I also want to thank that special person, my wife, Krista. People are saying, what are you doing now? I've already had it 2 or 3. What are you doing? What are you doing in retirement? I'm quite happy. I miss the people. I miss the Franks and I miss the Helenas and I miss them all. The people, I miss the staff, etc. But, I'm not sure I miss some of the rest. Despite what I said before, I had wanted to run for mayor in the fall. And I had hoped that potentially Frank might run for chair of the region. He would be a landslide winner. But Doug Ford, who sent greetings, I can't wait to read those greetings. Doug Ford failed to pass the legislation. Where are my conservative friends? There's a couple of failed to pass it, would have an elected chair, which I think Frank would have run for, and I was going to run for mayor. I was running for mayor in 2018 for about 3 days. When Frank had said he's going to go for that job, and then it didn't happen either. But Frank's not beatable. I've been in politics most of my adult life, and I knew when you could win. I told his opponent, who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, he sent me a nice note. I told him, you can't win. You won't win. Why are you doing this? And he didn't. So I retired with few regrets. I miss the people again. What do? I've got some examples of what I'm doing, what I'm enjoying doing. I bought today a binder of First Day Covers, Canadian stamps. I'm a stamp collector. And First Day Covers, there's a binder there from the 1950s and 1960s from one of the publishers. And in the last, you can see the last one in that book was signed by the elder Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau, as well as Premier Smallwood of Newfoundland. I've been pleased to get several awards. I'm going to get to an important subject in a few minutes, but the Queen's Diamond and Platinum Jubilee Awards, for which MPs John McCallum and my friend Helena Jazik, MP, my MP, they helped me, they got my name on the list, and I also, Mark is here, Atikian, I know Mark Atikian has got a couple as well. And I'm so proud of it. There he is. Yeah, Mark, I think I'm proud he's been on that list too. He's done so much for Markham and for Canada. So the second, I've got a Paul Harris Fellowship Award. I was so pleased. I've got now 2 of them for Rotary. I'm a Rotarian. And the mayor is an honor, remember. Someday will you show up, Frank? And when we get out of the Zoom bit. I'm also Godwin Chan. I don't know where he is, but he read something over there. I'm a knight commander in the Filipino Knights of Resolve. So from now on, I want you to give me some respect. It says that you're supposed to call me Sir Jack. Sir Jack. That's respect. And I haven't heard it in 12 years since I got the award. Markham District Energy is an asset you don't know about. You own it. The latest evaluation, in my view, is in the range of $300 to $400 million. That's its value. And Markham District Energy contributes to the Markham budget about $4.5 million a year. $4.5 million a year in dividends and enterprise benefits. One of the things you learn as a councillor is what's 1% on the tax bill? $1.5 million. That means Markham District Energy reduces your property taxes by 3% every year. And they're down because of NDEI, and I'm quite proud of it. I was there as we grew, and we're continuing to grow. We have 2 systems and a 3rd one coming. I brought some props, and the most important one is the one that got me partly elected. This I held up in 2 or 3 occasions in 2003 when I ran for regional council. It's a water pipe. See the corrosion? Corrosion like this, if not taken care of, depletes the chlorine. It reduces chlorine dramatically in the water. Now, does anyone want to take a guess where this came from? Because basically it talks about the services of counselor. Keep your eye on the basic services. Keep your eye on doing what people want you to do and protect the health of your residents. This is a slice of the Walkerton pipe. This was one of the pipes which fed the water that killed 8 people in the early part of the 21st century. And so I would show it and say, this is my job, this is what I'm interested in. And I mean, look at it. And so someone gave me a copy, part of it, 3 or 4 inches, and it helped me get elected. 2 Armenian families became friends of mine in the 1990s. Vach and Lucy Shahinian, and Fratch and Helen Nigerian. Fratch is here. Oh, he's right there. I met them at 166 Bullock Drive, where my bookstore was. And I also then met, shortly afterwards, Mark Atikian through politics. I'm not getting into all of that kind of stuff because I'm sort of out of that, much of it anyway. I heard about the tragedy of the Armenian genocide in World War I. It started in 1915. They told me over 1 million lost their lives. I was told that Canada recognized that genocide that occurred at that time in 2004, that the Turks continue to dispute it. And so I decided I would do something about it. And so, I got the date here, October 9, 2007, I decided to present a resolution as a councillor. And it was moved by myself and seconded by Regional Councillor Tony Wong, who we miss dearly. I miss him almost every day. I think about Tony Wong. That the town of Markham recognized April 24th as a day of remembrance for the Armenian community in memory of the Armenian genocide during the First World War. It was carried unanimously by Markham Council. Thank you, and thank all the councillors. It's not me. Councillor Horchik and Councillor Moretti had a role to play in that. Many people here today lost relatives during those years, and the last years of the Ottoman Empire. Many people here today have heard survivor stories and know that there were many atrocities which never should have happened. Never should have happened. On to a more general note, I know the Markham Current Council under Mayor Scarpetti shares my vision of leadership and working with them and listening to them and their relationship with the many diverse communities in Markham, in our city. It's not just the Armenians. It's the Chinese, it's the Tamil, it's the Pakistani communities. These days, leadership quite often comes from the municipalities of Canada. Across the country, some of them are extremely progressive, and at the new council, I hope you get to know them, with new ideas and solutions to fight climate change, on ways to improve the environment, on affordable and accessible housing, and on transit. I know Markham is up to the challenge, and I believe we're in good hands with this mayor and this council. And so I thank you all for attending.
The church in the photo is Saint Ripsime Cathedral in Echmiadzin in Armenia. And Saint Ripsime was one of the first martyrs of Christianity in Armenia just before it adopted Christianity as its state religion.
Համասկային հայգրտական եւ մշակութային միության քլացոր մասնաճյուղի վարչության եւ քրադարած հանձնախումբի գազագերբությամբ նորայ օրիզոն հերադեսիլի ծրագիրը մդահղացող եւ երկարամյա վարիչ տնօրեն Սուրեն Չեկիջյանի անավար թիմանգար խորակրով քիրքի ներկայացում Գիրագի մարտ 26-ին հետմիջօրեի ժամի 2-ին համասկայինի Հարություն Մանուկյան քրատարանի մեջ Քիրքը պիտի ներկայացնեն Սարիկ եւ Վարակ Բաբյան նաեւ եղինագի մասին վկայություններ պիտի բաժնեն իր ընկերները Հրավիրված է Թորոնթո հայությունը։ Քալ շաբաթ դարձյալ ցեզ դեսնելու իսով գփագենք մեր այսօրվա հայդակիրը։ Ձեր ցանուցումներուն կամ նվիրատվության համար կրնակ թիմել հետևյալ եջնամագի հասցեին։ Ցդեսություն։